So let's have a tour now to the main section. Let's see what are the best galleries showing in our fair. Let's start the tour. Let's start with the main section. We got to the main section here through the website. We see all the galleries as well as the sponsors. Manipulation is quite easy. Now we are inside the first hall called main section. It's about 35 galleries showing here. You see how easy it's the way to circulate, to have a look at the pieces, to go through the different booths, corridors. Here in the entrance floor we have the gallery Patinoire Royale, one of the major galleries of Brussels, with the work of Martin Feipel-Bechamel, two Luxembourgish artists representing Luxembourg in the Biennale of Venice 2013 or 15. These works are like relief sculptures hanging on the wall. You can click on the wall, have a precise view of the materiality. You see the size of the works and the technique, of course, maybe also the price. I guess here the price is not given. Here you see the huge size of the hall of all the galleries. It's easy to go through. The best way to visit a piece is to be clear in front of it, so there's no perspective distortion. Here we are in the middle of the fair with the booth of Marouani on my right side. On my left side there's the booth of Galerie Laurent from Paris, and they make a huge hanging of David Hockney, the famous British artist. They have here new digital works by Hockney. You know this famous series of iPad drawings David Hockney made. So recent works of him, editions done in 2011, 2015, around this date, and quite famous works, and some of them already have been sold. Other David Hockney works here, or let's go around on this side. We see a sculpture of Jaume Plensa. Jaume Plensa, he made us the honor to give us a sculpture for the fair, physically, and it's placed on Rond-Point Schumann for those who passed by and could have seen him. These beautiful black and white works are from David Nash, famous British artist too. Let's go on the side, on this booth on the other side. We have here a beautiful, colorful piece by Peter Halley, famous artist. Reference on price on request is done for expensive pieces, of course. So, but it's an important artist, and we are proud to have this artist here in the fair. Here on my right side we have a Luxembourgish gallery. It's called Gerhard Valerius, showing big pieces by Monique Becker, these two black pieces. Here, a Jean-Marie Biver piece, a really nice one. Jean-Marie Biver, as you know, just had his solo show at the Moudam. And on my right side, we have a Raymond Hins piece, important French artist from the movement Les Nouveaux Réalistes. Here another piece of Raymond Hins, one of these famous artists of the Nouveau Realist movement. Maybe you remember Nouveau Realist was a movement pushed to pop art, but the French way of doing pop art. So they go in the street, took objects, taking out of the reality, and they were just changing a little bit stuff on it. So here what is called a typical Raymond Hins piece, where you have the billboards with its sticked paper, which he took it away, and then he got this motif like an abstract painting, but it's a piece, a concrete piece out of reality. So Raymond Hins is one of the most famous artists of this movement. But we are here at the booth of Eva Meyer, a French gallerist, and she has a lot of pieces, of historical pieces. Here you see a blue table by Yves Klein, famous position of Nouveau Realist. You know him through this blue pigment work. He always work with blue pigmented. And let's go inside the booth and let's have a look on this wall, which is really beautiful. Here a series of lithographies of Man Ray. Man Ray, you know Man Ray through his surrealistic photographies he done already in the 20s, 1920, 1930. He was friend of all the big surrealist artists, and he continued till his end to the life, till the 70s he was active, and here is a beautiful serigraphy series of Man Ray's work. As this side too, you have this wall, also Man Ray, typical Man Ray photographies, So you see at the fair we have surrealistic works, Nouveau Realiste, we have so a lot of historical works, but indeed we have also new creation, new works from living artists, from even young Luxembourgish artists. Let's have a look at the booth of Nussbaum Reading, where you have here these beautiful drawings of Arlen Bouvier. Arlen Bouvier is showing actually in Eupen in Belgium at the ECOP, and we see smart drawings, paper drawings, where one person has something in his hand looking at his own mask. Or you see here the autoportrait of Alain, where a part of it goes away through a violent jest. So beautiful works by Arlen Bouvier. Or on this side, we have new works from Tina Gillen. You know that Tina Gillen will represent Luxembourg at the next Biennale of Venice. So we see a drawing here, a beautiful drawing of a landscape with this atmosphere, with this poetics, typical for Tina Gillen. Here, both artists are mid-40, so you see that the offer of the fair is quite large, and we have a huge number of different artists showing this monumental abstract painting done on resin, colored in its material with pigmentation. You have a beautiful color reflection, and you enter in this huge painting. It's about 3 meters by 4. You enter in this painting like in a dream world. Just to have an idea about prices, if you want, a piece like this is a major piece, of course, by the artist. Look at the size. It's a piece by Peter Zimmermann. He is a known artist, and a piece like this costs 70,000 euro, which may be a huge amount of money. But of course, we also have another offer. In the other section, the takeoff section, most of the artists are young, quite young, emerging, and we are on a totally different scale of prices. So let's have a look at the other section. Let's have a look at other pieces where the quality and the references are really important. Have a look at this beautiful piece outside of the booth of Eva Meyer. It's a painting done by Werner Büttner. Werner Büttner is one of these artists of the generation of Albert Oehlen, Kippenberger, this German generation, which is quite actually on the top. And this is a fantastic piece by Werner Büttner. Of course, it's a little bit big size, 190 by 190, but it's worth looking at. Other pieces I should talk about are the pieces here of Steve Caspar. These two pieces, which are done in a poetical, nearly surrealistical way of working. You see by getting nearer that you have elements of text written on them. You have figurative elements, you have abstract elements, you have gestic. It's a quite subjective and personal work. It's one of the major artists in Luxembourg, and he died last month he died. And he is one of the most important artists we had in the last 20, 30 years in Luxembourg. His name is Steve Caspar. Let's go through here to the booth of Laurent Godin. Laurent Godin is one of the most discovering galleries. He's so implicated to bring young artists up. And here you see a beautiful work of Traconduit, French artist, abstract, fluid, poetic gesture, nice contrast of colors, a free way of working with colors and gesture. Of course, the piece is again a big one, 250 by 220. So you see most of the galleries in the main section try to bring major pieces to the Luxembourg public. Here, a flower landscape by Alain Seshas. Alain Seshas is mostly known for his more comical way of treating subjects, and this vanity flower painting is particular in its intensity and feeling. It's a really nice, beautiful work. We can go through the fair discovering all the time new pieces. This, for example, they are grade 2. They're looking like photos, but they are paint. So they are really oil paintings with huge quality, and they look like photos. Surprising, but indeed, in these days, mostly people think today no one can paint anymore, but you see here totally the opposite. People can, in these days, even paint better than the generation before.